So just drawing the big toes together, taking the knees wide, allowing the sit bones to drop back towards the heels. We'll just start to come into this space today. You bring your forehead to the mat, or if you're more comfortable stacking your hands or your forearms, that is also available. Arms can be outstretched up over your head if that works for you. Otherwise, if you're more comfortable, you can take them and draw them back at your sides. We'll start with a couple of cleansing breaths. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, allowing the belly to expand outward. Maybe pausing for a moment with the lungs fully expanded, and then use your exhale to let everything go here. Just settling further into your mat. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling, allow the belly to expand. Brief pause at the top of your inhale, then exhale, open the mouth, big heavy sigh, let everything go. Just start to shift the breath low into the belly. If it's available to you, walk your hands up a little bit further so your fingertips are closer to the top edge of your mat. And just really start to feel some length into both sides of the trunk. So we've been kind of trying to bring in a little bit of more of a focused practice over a couple of weeks. So we were focusing on hip strengthening and some heart opening over the past several weeks, and we're going to start to tune into a little bit of core strength as well as some spine mobility and lengthening the side bodies. So thinking about bringing those elements into a little bit more of a focused practice over the next few weeks. So allowing your armpits to expand down towards the mat. Think about lengthening your entire side body all the way down to your pelvis, and just allow yourself to be here. Start to deepen your breath, allowing the shoulders, tops of the shoulders to relax and fall down away from the ears. Just begin to notice your breath. So it's important that we just find a little bit of time in our day to pause. So taking this pause here to practice yoga, to move our bodies, to just check in with ourselves, I think it can be really important for being successful in other areas of our life. So today I want you to think of the concept of saying no to some things and saying yes to other things. So whatever that might mean in your life, what is something that maybe you have or you need to say no to so that you're able to say yes to something else? So maybe saying no to an evening commitment, so you're able to spend some time reading a book, relaxing outdoors, spending time with your family. Kind of filling in those blanks for yourself today. And just keeping that in mind as you practice today as well. Just allowing yourself to explore those concepts of what you're saying no to, not necessarily that being a negative thing. That permits you to say yes to yourself and self-care. So deepening the breath a little bit further. Go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. So maybe it's something around that concept of yes and no. Taking time for self-care. Maybe there's someone in your life that needs a little bit of extra positive thoughts sent their way. Whatever that is, bringing that intention into your heart, allowing the breath to flow into that intention to make it a little bit more real, visible for you. And then when you're ready, take one more cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And then go ahead and bring yourself up to a hands and knees tabletop position. We'll walk the hands over to the left corner of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, sink back towards your right heel. Walking those right fingertips up a little bit higher than your left hand. And just enjoying that right side body stretch. Maybe shifting your weight just slightly. Letting the breath flow to that lower portion of the rib cage. And coming back to hands and knees, walking your hands over to the right corner. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sink back towards the left heel. Let your head and neck relax here. Couple nice deep breaths into the side body. Remember, everything in our practice is an invitation, so if something does not feel available to you, please modify for your body and what's available to you today. Inhaling your way back up to tabletop. Find a neutral spine here. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. As you inhale, sweep your left arm up, following it with your eyes. As you exhale, send it under the right for thread the needle. So for this, we're going to bring the cheek and the shoulder blade to the mat. If you're into a partial bind, you can take that right arm and reach it across or the low back around towards the left hip crease. If that's not available to you, then just keep that right hand set firmly on the mat. You can give a little press into that hand. We're focusing in on rotating the upper portion of the trunk here. Breathing into that twist. Good, setting that right hand back down. Big inhale, send the left arm up. And then exhale, coming back to tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders again, neutral spine, so subtly drawing the belly in. Inhale deeply, right arm high, following it with the eyes. Exhale, sweep it under the left. Shoulder blade in, cheek down to the mat. Any options or modifications that you'd like to take as you explore this rotation in the upper part of the trunk here. Just allowing the pelvis to stay lifted. Allowing yourself to breathe into the twist. And then setting that left hand back down on the mat. Deep breath in, right arm reaches high. And then exhale, set it down. As you inhale, come to cow pose. Toes can be tucked under or flat. Heart is forward. Exhale, tuck and round, press into cat. And 2 more times, inhale to cow pose. Exhale, press away, C shape. Think about drawing the belly in as you round into cat. Good, 1 more time. Inhale to cow, neck is long. As you exhale, press into cat and think about lifting gently up on the pelvic floor. So belly button draws into the spine. Think about activating the bottom part of the pelvis here. Then inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. This time move your hands to the right, drop back to the left. Side stretch. Briefly pausing here. Inhale, cow pose. Heart forward. Exhale, press away, engage the belly, and then drop back towards the right heel, hands to the left. Good, 1 more time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat, engage the belly, draw in, and then release to the left side, hands to the right side, stretch. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, press away, and then release towards the right heel, hands to the left. Good, this time come back to a neutral spine and tabletop, and I want you to walk your hands just slightly closer to your knees by about 1 inch or 2. Inhale to cow pose, and then as you exhale into cat, I want you to press into the mat and hover your knees a couple inches off the mat. So really engaging the belly. And instead of just pulling the belly in, I want you to think about lifting up on the bottommost part of the pelvic floor. So those muscles are part of our core as well. So really thinking about activating them at the same time as our low belly. Good, release, inhale, cow pose. Stay here for a moment. Lengthening the abdominal muscles. Good, one more time. Exhale, super cat. So pressing away, C shape, hover the knees and breathe. Pelvic floor lifts, belly draws in. Good, gently set the knees back down. Walk your hands more forward towards the top edge of your mat. Tuck your toes under and find downward facing dog. Hips are high. Take a little bit of time here, pedaling out your feet, adding in whatever movements feel good for you today. Just relaxing through the back of the neck here. Grounding down through the hands and feet. Eventually taking your feet out a little bit wider so they're at the long edges of the mat. Taking a nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, go ahead and let the left knee fall in. Turn and gaze to the right. Continually pressing away from the mat. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Drop your right knee in. Turn and gaze to the left. Pressing into that left heel. Good, come back to center. Send your weight back. Allow the heels to melt down towards the earth. Grounding down through the hands, really connecting to the earth with your hands and feet. Walk your feet in now so they're hips distance apart, and then inhale to plank pose. Pressing into that middle part of the back, really activating your entire core here. So belly is in, back is parallel to your mat. Walk down to your forearms for forearm plank. It's perfectly fine to set your knees down on the mat here, but be mindful of what your trunk is doing. So even if you're setting your knees down, you're not letting your hips sag or sticking your butt up in the air. So you're continuously engaging through the low belly. Good, think about that gentle lift up on the pelvic floor and breathe. Good, releases Sphinx pose. Sliding your arms forward, lengthening the abdominal muscles. Good, one more inhale. As you exhale, I want you to slowly round up to forearm plank. So you're gonna lift the lower part of the rib cage, the belly, and then the knees up, or the thighs, and just pause here in forearm plank. Take a breath. Exhale. On your next inhale, release the knees, the belly, and the rib cage. Come back to Sphinx pose. So we'll call that a forearm plank roll up. So as you exhale, pull your belly in, gently lift, rounding up slowly to forearm plank, and then release the knees, the belly, the rib cage. Come back to Sphinx pose. Good, last time, rib cage, belly, knees up, forearm plank, pause, and then release to downward facing dog. Press into the hands, send the sit bones up and back. Take a nice deep breath in here and let it out. Good, looking forward, walk up to your hands at the top of the mat, find garland pose or malasana. So this is a good place for a block. If you have one, you can set it underneath your tailbone. If you don't have a block available to you, you might come to more of a modified squat position. But if you have the openness in your pelvis, you're gonna send the knees out to the side. Bring the hands to heart center and imagine lengthening your spine. Belly is in. As you exhale, pausing here. On your next inhale, reach your left arm up and over. Side stretch to the right. Good. Inhale, sweep that arm up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, this time right arm reaches up and over. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Good. This time, both arms reach over your head. Draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Soften the tops of the shoulders. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, right arm back. Follow it with your eyes, opening that right side of the chest. Exhale, come back to center. Belly in, send the left arm back. Follow it with your eyes, gently twisting. And exhale, come back to center. Good. Plant your hands, toe heel your feet in so they're hips distance apart. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend the knees here generously. Draw the belly in, maybe grabbing opposite elbows in front or behind the knee if you're finding a little bit more rounding in the spine feels good today. Just shifting your weight gently from toes to heels or right to left. Eventually releasing your hands down to the floor, keeping that rounding in the spine, those knees bent generously. Inhale, come up to a flat back. So bring the shoulders in line with the hips, pull the belly in. As you exhale, generously fold, bend your knees. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, take your time, come to stand. Reach your arms up all the way over your head, lift the gaze, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Good, mountain pose, palms are forward. Just taking a pause here, dropping the shoulders down away from the ears, linking your eyes closed. Notice how you feel in standing. Notice how your weight is distributed. Recall whatever intention you set for your practice today. And then as you stand, I want you to think about pulling the low belly in. So navel to the spine, slight tailbone tuck, gentle lift up on the pelvic floor. Opening your eyes as you inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, steeple grip, side stretch to the right. Inhale, lengthen to center. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale, lengthen up towards the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Inhale, lift to center, reach high. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up, little back bend here. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Good, we're going to move on to our high lunge sun salutation. Inhale, sweeping up. This time exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Inhale, flat back. Halfway lift, belly is in. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back up on the ball of that right foot. Inhale, high lunge. Walk or sweep your arms up. Good. Exhale, drop the right arm down, reach the left arm up and over. Good. Bring both arms back up to the center, switch sides. Left arm drops down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. And downward facing dog, hips high. 2 breaths. Looking forward, this time right foot steps through. Inhale, high lunge. Up on the ball of your back foot. Perfectly fine to drop that knee down for a low lunge if you'd like that option. Good, drop that left arm down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, switch sides. Left arm reaches to the right. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step forward, halfway lift. Top of your mat, breathe in. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot steps back. Inhale, high lunge. Walk or sweep the arms up. Be mindful of that knee over ankle position. Good, left arm drops down, right arm up and over. Good, this time inhale, both arms to center. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog, 2 breaths. Good, right foot steps between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, second side. Exhale, release the right hand, left arm, up and over, side stretch. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step forward, halfway lift, breathe in, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we're gonna move on to sun salutation A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose and pause. Good, put your forearms down on the mat, drop your knees down, come to Sphinx pose, breathe in, heart forward. Good, as you exhale, roll up slowly, forearm plank. Good, breathe in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Press into the hands, hips high. Looking forward, walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose and pause. Good, set your knees down on the mat. This time lower halfway to chaturanga. Take a pause here and just be mindful of drawing the belly in. Good, release to your tummy. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Heart is forward. Exhale, forearm plank, roll up. Good, pausing, inhaling. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. So as you take just that brief modification through that Vinyasa series, a couple of things to be mindful of are just keeping your trunk in line with your spine, and then also just thinking about engaging the belly. So these are just some options to take, being a little bit more mindful of the low belly, the anterior, the front part of the trunk, as well as a gentle lift up on the pelvic floor. So from downward facing dog, look forward. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank and pause. Good, from your toes or your knees, lower halfway to chaturanga. Good, this time any back bend of your choice. Baby cobra, cobra, Sphinx, up dog. Breathe into that front body. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Grounding down through the hands and feet. Good, inhale that right leg high, 3-legged dog. We're gonna open up the hip a little bit, so drop that heel towards the opposite buttock and turn your gaze to the right. Any movements that feel good for you are perfectly fine here. circling out the ankle or the knee, turning the gaze to the right. Good, one more breath in and out. On your next inhale, sweep that right leg high. As you exhale, step it between the hands. Pivot your back heel down. I want you to keep your hands framing that front foot. We're gonna inhale to triangle pose, Trikonasana. So doing your best here, if you have a block, that block can be on the outside of your right foot. If you don't have a block and this is too much of a side stretch, I want you to use your leg as your prop. So whatever works for you, but if I bend too far forward to reach for my foot, then I'm gonna end up rotating my trunk towards my, towards the mat. So I'd rather see you do less of a side bend and use your leg as a prop if you can. Imagine a wall behind you, micro bend in both knees. Good, breathe into that. Good, one more breath in. As you exhale, extended side angle. So front knee bends, left arm reaches up and over this time, next to the ear. Big side stretch. So we're talking about side body lengthening, core strength here. If you want an additional challenge, you're gonna float both arms over your head. So a lot more core stabilization here. Really draw the belly in. Good, release extended side angle, set that bottom arm down. Keep reaching up and over. And then we're gonna rotate it. Left arm comes to the mat or to the outside of that right foot. Inhale your right arm up. Revolved extended side angle. It's okay if that back foot pivots in a little bit, but keep lifting through your trunk as you twist. Good, take a breath in. As you exhale, open your arms, warrior two. Good, let's stay for a couple of breaths. Just reconnect with your breath here. Settling into your legs, drawing the belly in. Find a little bit of stillness here in warrior two. Relax the face. Good, as you exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat, step it back to plank pose. Good, from your toes or your knees, that Vinyasa series. Lower halfway, Chaturanga, belly is in. Inhale, any back bend of your choice. Open the front body. Exhale, belly to the spine, downward facing dog. Grounding through the hands and feet, breathe. When you're ready, inhale, left leg high, reach into that foot. Exhale, drop it to the right buttock, turn and gaze to the left. Finding a couple added movements here or just pausing in stillness. Inhale, left leg high, square the hips. Exhale, step it forward, triangle pose. Pivot the back heel down. So you're gonna be light on that bottom hand. So even if you have that bottom hand contacting the floor through your fingertips or it's on your leg, be mindful to not collapse onto it. So you're using your legs and your trunk strength here. Breathe, keep reaching those right fingertips high. As you exhale, extended side angle. Right arm reaches up and over. Grounding down through the outer edge of that back foot. Good, if you want that additional challenge today, both arms reach up and over. Belly draws in. Good, lots of breath here, yogis. Release that bottom hand. As you exhale, revolved extended side angle. Right hand to the left foot, reach the left arm high and twist. So you're following that left hand with your eyes here. Keeping the chest lifted, belly is in. Big inhale, warrior two. Sweep up through the arms. Good, notice your knee over ankle alignment on the front leg. Soften through the tops of the shoulders. And then once you've come into this warrior two pose, Bring that awareness back to your low belly. So draw the belly in, slightly tucking the tailbone under. One more inhale. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step it back to plank pose. Your choice here. If you're getting tired, you can press back to down dog or child's pose. Otherwise, move through that Vinyasa series, lowering to chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Connect with your breath. Good. Recall that intention. Notice how you're feeling. Think about letting go of whatever is not serving you well. Whether that be something on your mat or off of your mat, elsewhere in your life. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, look forward. Step your feet up to your hands. Take a seat. Boat pose. So we're going to start with a variation of boat with the legs bent. So bent leg boat pose. Lower legs are parallel to the floor as much as available to you. Chest lifts, palms are up. Breathe in. So you're thinking about that chest lifting, being mindful to not let the lower back relax. Chest is lifted, lots of front core strength here. Breathe in. If you want, exhale. Start to straighten the knees, float the arms up. If that's not available to you, don't worry about it. You can do both knees bent. You can set one leg down, whatever works best for you. One more breath in. As you exhale, set the feet down. Seated bound angle pose. Soles of the feet together. Take a breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. Good. Allowing the knees to fall out to the sides here. Good. Walking your hands back towards your feet. Bring the knees back up to center. Place the feet a little bit further out from your buttocks and bring your hands just underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a variation of upward plank. So for upward plank, you have two options. You're either going to do that reverse table position where your feet are in, your knees are bent, or more of a challenge, your knees are going to be straight out and you're going to lift your hips up, drop your head back. So take a breath in, decide what option you'd like to do. As you exhale, press and lift. So think about engaging around the shoulders, using the back of the hips to lift up, also using your entire trunk, so front and back of the spine. Good. As you exhale, slowly release. Set your hips down. Inhale, bring the arms up, floating the palms high. As you exhale, I want you to start to lower yourself down to your mat. So take your time, engaging that anterior core, going down as slow as you can to come to your back. Good. Once you're on your back, go ahead and just pull your knees into your chest and just massage out the low back a little bit here. Maybe blink your eyes closed. And just take a couple of breaths, noticing how you feel. Good, and then set the feet down on the mat. We'll take the left leg and cross it over the right, reclining pigeon pose. Just let that left knee fall out to the side here. And then if you want, drawing the legs in, grasping behind the right thigh. Exploring a little bit of that glute lengthening, outer hip stretch. Maybe you find stillness here, maybe you rock gently. Maybe you allow the eyes to close. And keeping your legs in the same position, go ahead and let the legs fall to the right side. Try to keep your shoulder blades connected to the mat here, extending your left arm out, turning and looking to the left, blinking your eyes closed. I want you to notice that expansion of the left lower rib cage. Breathe deeply here. Notice how you feel. Just be present on your mat. Starting to slow things down here as we prepare for our final relaxation. Slowly unwinding here, drawing the legs back to center, feet on the mat, neutral spine position. We'll take the right leg, cross it over the left, and just let the knee fall out to the side here. So depending on how restricted you are in the hip joints, you might feel a stretch with this. You may need to draw the legs in to find more of a stretch, but just do what works for your body. And you might find some variations from day to day and practice to practice as well. Good, allowing the legs to fall to the left side this time. Shoulder blades on the mat, reach the right arm out, turn and look over that right hand. Couple of nice deep breaths into that right side body. Taking time to notice your ribs expand and contract. And maybe just calling to mind one thing that you may decide to say no to, so that you can say yes to yourself, to self-care, self-preservation. And then unwinding, slowly coming back into the center. Both feet on the mat again, arms on either side. Just tuck the shoulder blades underneath you just slightly. If you have a block, you can send it underneath the sacrum. If you don't, we're just going to take a variation of unsupported legs up the wall here. So we're just going to extend one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. If you have a wall nearby and you'd like to use that, feel free to just scoot your bottom close to the wall. Send the legs up one at a time. It can be nice even just to roll a towel or something just to place that underneath the base of the sacrum for a little bit of a lift through the pelvis. But otherwise, just allowing the eyes to close. It's a very subtle inversion here. Taking time again to notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Notice how your body feels. And then slowly releasing the legs, drawing the knees in towards the spine, giving yourself one more hug. If there's any additional poses that might round out your practice today, you can take those now. Otherwise, if you feel like your practice is complete, make your way into your final relaxation, Shavasana or corpse pose. As you come into your final relaxation, if you're comfortable on your back, you can make your way into your traditional Shavasana. But if not, feel free to roll to either side. Finding a comfortable position. allowing your body and your mind to find stillness for a few moments. As you move off of your mat today, and even now as we sit in or lay in Shavasana, remember that you are enough as the person that you are. Say yes to you. Allow yourself to be present in your life. Relaxing, letting go of any remaining tension. Just allowing the ground to support you. I am enough.